everyone, and welcome back to Happening by Chance. My name is Mariana, and today I am here with the Show Us Your Decks VR to, I think, feeding your soul. I'm going to put the name on the screen. I always do this. If you have never seen my channel before, I am a bit of a hipster at heart sometimes, and so I really enjoy looking for decks that I haven't seen other people show when I do VRs. So anyway, I hope you will stick around. There are 15 prompts, and let's just get started because it's super fun. I have been having a lot of fun binging the responses to this VR. So prompt number 1 is a deck that you have been wanting to use, but for whatever reason hasn't gotten any playtime in your desk. And the one that I am going to show for this is the Mamluk cards by Tresses. I don't know how to pronounce his artist's name. I'm going to leave the name on the screen and link the information below. This was a Kickstarter, but I do believe that he is going to be selling them on his store online. So this is a historical reproduction, not a reproduction, like a restoration, I guess. If you know a little bit about tarot history, the Mamluk cards are the cards that are believed to be kind of like precursor of tarot. So these were playing cards from Egypt. Okay, it says here that they are commonly accepted to be the link between earlier cards from Asia and the development of playing cards in Europe. They are named after their origin in the Mamluk Sultanate in Egypt, 1250 to 1517. So they are really old, and there is a picture here, right? So this is like one of the remaining surviving cards. Am I on frame? Yes, this is one of the surviving cards, and then this is the restoration by you can see here, this is the artist name, Tresses, but then here you can see his name, it's Ulrich Kaltenborn. This is the second edition. As I said, it was a Kickstarter. Since I started learning tarot history, I have been wanting a set of Mamluk cards, but they were not easy to find. So I looked everywhere. I looked on eBay. I looked, and okay, these are two extra cards, but this is what the cards look like. And the first edition of these cards was out of print, and so I looked everywhere and I couldn't find any copy. So of course, as soon as I think I saw it on Marilyn at Tarot Clarity, that she announced that there was a second edition coming on Kickstarter, I knew I had to back it. So the reason why I haven't used them is because I want to kind of like not study them, but really flip through them, look them, learn them a bit more, because as you can see, they are very different. So the cards with the square in the top are the court cards. These are court cards. I'm telling you, like, I need to learn them a bit more. So this is actually, I think, the first deck that I have bought that I didn't buy necessarily with the intention of reading with it. I bought it specifically out of historical interest. But since the Kickstarter started fulfilling, I have been seeing people on Instagram using these cards for readings. And of course you can read with them. Like, these are the cups, right? It's very straightforward. It's just different. So when I saw people reading with them online, I thought, you know what, I do want to try to read with them. They are very cool, and I don't know, it's one of those that make you feel like you are stepping into history. It is a different chord system. I think they are like deputies and different type of thing because it was a card game. So anyway, these are the where did I leave the title card? I think I left it here. Yes, Teresa's Art Mamluk deck, second edition, 2024, and I do know that he was going to sell them on his website. I haven't checked because, as I said, I backed it on Kickstarter, but I'll try to look for his website to link it down below if anyone is interested. So that was prompt number 1, a deck that you have been wanting to use, but for some reason hasn't gotten any playtime on your desk. So as you saw, these are the backs. The booklet, I love it because it has just historical information about the cards, and it comes with this fold-out where it explains all of the cards, the chords, and everything. Okay, I have brought the frame a bit closer because I am going to be showing you a regular sized deck now for prompt number 2, which is the 12th deck from the right in your tarot shelf. Now, I don't have a tarot shelf. I have maybe someday I'll show how I store my decks, but I have like a tarot cabinet with different boxes and baskets and stuff, and I do have a basket on top of my desk and some decks there. So what I did was I counted from the basket that is on top of my desk, which are the ones that I want to be like more presently using, and I counted, and there are 11 decks on that basket. So I picked the 2 that are nearest to the basket. So I counted like 11, and then the 2 that were right in the side of the basket because one was here and one was here. And the first one is a better known Kickstarter, and it is the Folkloric Forest Tarot, which by the way also hasn't seen a lot of playtime because I had it in my mind that I wanted to do like a walkthrough maybe or something. I honestly don't know if I'm going to, because I feel like there are so many walkthroughs of it online. I feel like often in tarot too, people say, yeah, everyone knows this deck or things like that, or I always talk about this, so I'm not going to show it. And if you are literally stumbling on TarotTube for the first time, or stumbling on a channel for the very first time, maybe you don't actually know it. So, you know, I'm not going to show it a ton because a lot of people do know it, but just in case anyone out there doesn't, this is the Folkloric Forest Tarot, which was also on Kickstarter, but I'm pretty sure you can buy it if you didn't back it. This is by Lennox Reese, and this is my first deck by her, but I just really admire her as a creator, and I follow her on Instagram, and she has been showing pictures of the next one in this collection, which is going to be the Folkloric Water Tarot, something like that, and it looks amazing. The best part about this, or one of my favorite things about this deck, and I'm assuming future decks in this collection, well, one of my favorite things is that she intends to treat this as like an encyclopedia. So that's why she designed the box as like an old encyclopedia cover. And so it's going to be like your library, right? All of the tomes of your encyclopedia. As a nerd, that just, I don't know, just calling it an encyclopedia immediately makes me want to have the tomes, right, for the encyclopedia. But another thing I really love is that in the book, you can see which painting every card comes from. So you have the like the explanation and everything, but then in the bottom you have the reference for the painting, and that's just my favorite thing. I don't like art decks that don't cite the sources. And now that I'm flipping through it, I'm like, I'm going to abandon the idea of doing a walkthrough, and I'm just going to do a reading with it because it's just so good. It's so cool. Well, these are the bags in case I hadn't shown them. And I don't know, it has a great feel, a great never mind, I'm just going to put this away. I said I wasn't going to flip through it, and then I just started talking and talking about it. And I'm going to, at this rate, I'm going to be here for like over an hour. And the other one that was the 12th next to my basket is one of my Anima Antigua, which is the Minchiate al Chino. This one I won't show in detail, I promise you. I just want to show you a couple of cards, just so you see how it is. These are the backs, and these are the fronts of the cards. So this is just like a historical, I think it's a facsimile of a Minchiate deck, the Minchiate al Chino. I love the colors, I love everything about it. And if you don't know what Minchiate decks are, I'm not going to explain it at this moment, but they are a form of historical Italian deck that includes, other than the majors, or the triumphs rather, other than the triumphs and the pips, it includes all of the virtues, the zodiac signs, and the 4 elements. So there are several ones, I own several Minchiate, but this is the Minchiate al Chino by the collection Anima Antigua by Los Carabeo, which publishes different historical decks. So the next prompt is a deck you are thinking of rehoming, and why. This is an interesting prompt because I feel like some people have answered with decks that they are definitely rehoming, and some people have answered with decks that they are thinking about rehoming. I have several decks that I am for sure rehoming, like for example the Darkness of Light Tarot, if anyone is interested. But I wanted to show one that I think of rehoming on and off. So sometimes I am like, yeah, I'm rehoming this, but then I look at it again and I'm like, I'm not sure. And that is the Spacious Tarot, which I keep in this pouch that I printed instead of the box, because at the beginning I just kept everything in pouches. I feel like now I do like keeping decks in boxes when they are small boxes. I don't like the big boxes with the big books. This is the Spacious Tarot, and again, I feel like most people know this. It has an amazing guidebook. This is one of my favorite things about this deck, is the guidebook. And it's a pip deck. That's why I think of keeping it, because as you know, I am a pip deck person, but I feel like I am not a fan of pips with feeling. I feel like you're either a cynic deck or a pip deck, and pips with feelings sometimes confuse me. Like, I prefer pips that have decorations, but not that are meant to be like part of the meaning, if that makes sense. But at the same time, it's super beautiful and I really love it. And I don't know, it's just, I feel like it's from a certain time in when I was learning. But now that I have like developed my technique, I feel like it doesn't work with my technique, but then sometimes it does. I don't know, I feel like I need to read with it more times to actually decide if it does work or if it doesn't. Because sometimes I think it doesn't and I want to rehome it, but then others I am not brave enough to do it because it's just so beautiful. So that is the Spacious Tarot. The next prompt is a deck you don't store in its original box and why. And as I said so earlier, I keep a lot of decks in boxes, especially, I mean in bags, especially the ones that have super big boxes. I love, my favorite form of packaging are talk boxes, and the ones that I definitely don't like are the ones that come with a big box. And one of them is the Golden Tarot by Mary Packard, which is the Visconti Sforza, and I keep it in this bag. I think it almost fits, so I'm going to leave it like this. So the reason why I love it is because it fits the cards perfectly. It looks and feels as if it was literally made for the cards, as if it was like custom made, because they are literally the exact, it's the exact size of the cards, and it matches. So let me show you. If you've seen my channel before, you know that the Visconti Sforza is my favorite tarot. So I have several editions of the Visconti Sforza. This is the Golden Tarot one. But this is the back of the bag, and this is the back of the cards. So I think they go really well together. And then this is the front of the bag, and these are, let me look for some pips, like you have the pips with the flowers, but then when you see the coins, let me look for some coins. So I love how it looks with this. I feel like it matches, like the flowers with the coins, the flowers. And I actually want to show you something, because remember the deck I showed you, the Mamluk pattern, that is considered to be kind of like a link between the Asian playing cards and how they eventually come to Europe through like the Silk Road, and the Italians adopt them first. But I wanted to show you because I feel like you can see the relation. Chronologically, this one is before this one, so you can see the inspiration, right? I wanted to show you because you have all the floral, really busy, saturated decorations in the pips, which are very similar in the Visconti, and I just find that very interesting. So I don't know, I wanted to show you guys. See, they fit perfectly. It literally feels like it was custom made. I love it. My mom found it and bought it for me. My grandma gifted me the deck for Christmas, and then my mom found this bag, so I really wanted to show it for this prompt. So the next prompt is a deck with clouds on the box. And I'm super excited because I actually found a lot, but I am only going to show you, okay, no, I was going to show you this one because it's one of my favorite decks, but this I have shown a lot in my channel, that you can see in my favorite new decks of 2024 and in my Pink Marseille video. You can see this deck, but here I don't know if you can see, this is the world card, and so here it has a city, and in the background there are clouds, but because I have shown it a million times in my channel, I decided to show a different one, and that is the Gypsy Oracle cards. There are clouds here and clouds here. So this is essentially a Sibilla deck, but you know, you have the Italian Sibilla, you have the Parisian Sibilla, and this is like the Bohemian Sibilla, or Gypsy Sibilla as it's known. So I'm just quickly going to show you. It comes with black borders, and the images are just so kitsch. I love it. I think these like really old school kitschy decks are so cool. Like, look at this so kitsch. I love it. It's fabulous. In university, I studied graphic design, and we had a art history class. And in one of our art history classes, we had a lesson on kitsch. So everyone had to bring like a kitsch, something that was kitsch. And then we had like an exchange, like a secret Santa sort of thing, where everyone gifted each other kitschy things. And I feel like if I had been into cards when I was in university, I would totally have brought something like this. And it's just amazing. It's just amazing. It's so good. Anyway, so these are the gypsy oracle cards, and they have clouds on the box. I'm going to tuck the book in the back of the box so I don't keep folding it and ruining it. Okay, I skipped one prompt. It was a deck with more or less than 78 cards. This is also not going to fit on frame. And this is the Visconti di Modrone Tarot. As I said, the Visconti's Forza is my favorite, but like just in general, the Viscontis are I really love, and I think from a historical perspective they are great. So this is one that needs a bag. I hate this box. It's heavy, it occupies too much space, and I never use this deck because I hate this box. But I haven't found a bag because the cards are super big. So these are the cards. This one is actually my favorite card in the whole wide world, which is apt because it's a world card. There is a future prompt for that, so but I'm not going to show you this one because I'm showing it now. This is my favorite world card ever. But the reason why this has more than 78 cards is because they have like it is a tarot, but other than the triumphs and the pips, it also has the extra virtue cards, and it has female and male knights and female and male pages. So here we have a male knight. Let's see if we let's look for female. So this is one of the extras, extra virtues that also makes it an extra. This is a very interesting deck because this is supposed to be, I mean, there's like a lot of question marks in terms of history, right? Like especially tarot history that is not as studied because I feel like, I don't know, people have prejudices. But one of the interesting things about this deck is that it is like a minchiate in terms of number of cards. But here's a female knight. So you have the male knight and the female knight. And so that happens with every suit and also with the pages. My teachers say that like this tarot holds a lot of mysteries because why does it have the cards of the minchiate? Like, is the minchiate earlier than people think? Is this like where tarot actually more than 78 cards, but then the French decided to like streamline it and they cut a bunch of cards? Why does it have female and male knights, but then no other deck has that? So it's just a very interesting deck, and I don't know, I feel like, yeah, it's very interesting. And it has more than 78 cards. The next prompt is a deck you have never shown in your channel, and I wanted to show a deck that is very on me. If you know my channel, you would think historical, Marseille, peeps, or art, or you know, maybe more like the vibes of the folkloric forest, more I think my taste is very brown energy, golden energy, ochre energy decks. I have talked about it in other videos, so that's like my main thing. Anyway, I wanted to show you something that I've never shown, and that also is very different to the thing that maybe you would think. It comes with a white Make Playing Cards box. It's probably a Make Playing Cards deck, but it's from Etsy, and this was a gift from my sister for my birthday. I asked for this one. I don't use it a lot, but it's my only fandom deck, and it is the Stars Hollow Tarot. So it is a Gilmore Girls tarot. So it comes with some meaning cards, and the cards look like this. So they are pictures of characters or episodes, but they put like a weird Photoshop filter on them. You know, the filter where it makes it seem like it's like maybe a drawing or something. I don't know. It's weird. I don't know if I agree with the choice of Rory for the High Priestess. I would actually have put Lorelai as the High Priestess and Emily as the Empress, I think. But other than that, I love the choices. I haven't shown it because I wanted to do like a fun walkthrough of it. So I feel like I don't want to look. I haven't even looked through the entire deck because I wanted to do a Chariot. I don't know why Dean is in the Strength card. This makes me angry. I'm not going to continue flipping through the cards because I feel like this deserves a chatty walkthrough with me ranting and raving about my Gilmore Girls thoughts. Because why is Dean in the Strength card? I know. Just no. But this is the Stars Hollow. I'm just going to flip through a random minor so you see how they are. These are the minors. They have like quotes from episodes, and yeah, this is actually pretty perfect. So I'm not going to continue flipping through them so that I can do a chatty walkthrough. But this is the Stars Hollow Tarot by, I don't remember by who, but I found it on Etsy, and my sister gifted it to me for my birthday, and it's just really fun, and it's my only fandom deck, and now I really want to do a walkthrough of this. But yeah, this is the Stars Hollow Tarot, which I had never shown on my channel before. The next prompt is a deck with an animal other than the lion in the Strength card. And for that, I am going to show you the Noisy Museum Tarot, which I showed in my video for pairings for the Da Vinci Enigma. These are the backs. I don't care for the backs, but it's one of my favorite decks. It's a collage deck with art of different kinds. It's just really, really cool collage that you can get on Game Crafter, and it's done by La Greenwich, who has also done like the Craft Decadence Oracle of the Heavy Iridescent Oracles, which I also have. And this is the Strength card, which has a dragon. One of my favorite Strength cards. So that is the Noisy Museum Tarot, which you can get on Game Crafter. The next prompt is a deck that comes in a box within a box, and I have actually only one, and it kind of counts. That is the Wild Goddess Oracle by Amy Cerner and Monty Farber. It comes in this box that is kind of like a book. You can see it a bit better there. So it's kind of like a book, and it opens like a book. And in here you have the book, and then here you have the deck that is within a box, and just a talk box. So this big box I keep tucked away somewhere. I fished it out for this video, but I just keep the deck with the talk box. This is a deck that actually could also be in my rehoming category. I was pretty sure I was going to rehome this, but after my last reading that I did, where I did a reading where I used the Eduardo Dotti alongside with a Mary Oracle, and the way I used the Mary Oracle there made me think that I could use this deck in a similar way. So I want to try doing a reading like that with this one, because other than that, it hasn't really been a great reader for me. I think the art is really cool, but I don't know, I'm not crazy about it, so I might end up rehoming it. I don't know, I need to try to read more with it and see, but I am kind of thinking that maybe I will end up rehoming it. Like this. Okay, I'm going to leave it out because I don't store it here anyway. And that's the Wild Goddess Oracle. The next one is a deck that would not appear in your top 10 favorites. This was a challenging prompt because the way it's worded, sometimes people say a deck that wouldn't appear in a top 10 list. And I feel like there are so many categories for that that I kept choosing decks, but then I thought of a category that it would fit. So maybe I would choose one that is not a favorite, but I would think, okay, but this would be in a top 10 most practical readers, or top 10 most practical to carry, or top 10 with better line work, or top 10 with better color palettes. I don't know. There are so many categories, but this one I thought, okay, I feel like this one would not fit any category, and it is the Marseille Sophistiqué. Actually, this one, so I found this one on Instagram. I feel like we have all done that, right? Where you buy a deck, these are the bags, because you see an Instagram post, and the Instagram post just looks really, really beautiful, and so you end up buying the deck. And that's what happened here, but I don't know, when I received it, it's not my favorite, and I don't know why it is. I don't love the cardstock, but you know, I don't love the cardstock of a lot of decks. I feel like it's too bland. I feel like that's the thing. I feel like it's too bland, and it didn't look bland on Instagram. It's just in person, the printing and everything is just very, very bland. It's like it doesn't have a lot of personality, and it's not because it's pastel, because there are a lot of pastel decks that are have a lot of personality. I feel like I'm being very mean, so I'm not going to continue talking, but the cups were what convinced me to buy it. I am a peep person, and that means that often I pay more attention to the peeps than the triumphs. Or the majors, you know. So the cups sold me on this deck. but I don't super love it. Actually, this is another one that I do think I could rehome. The only thing that makes me curious about it is that it comes with instructions to play a game, tarot game rules, and I haven't actually looked at them, and I thought it might be fun to try to play this game with friends and see. And because this is designed with that in mind, I mean, you can play the tarot game with any tarot deck, but this one is designed with that in mind. So it has the colors and the borders and the corners. So I don't know, like I would like to try that. But as for like a tarot, I don't super love it. The next prompt is a deck that makes you think of the color green. And the one that immediately came to mind, that just instantly came to my mind when I saw the prompt, is a deck that I don't have. But it is coming. So I'm going to show you a different deck that I actually fished from one of my purgatory boxes, and it is the Celtic Spirit Oracle. The thing about these tags is that I made myself the rule that I wouldn't check my purgatory boxes, because what happens is that I see the decks and I think, oh, these are so pretty. Like, I remember why I bought them. I should not, like, I should take them out of the purgatory box, and then I end up with clutter again. And I shouldn't be doing that. But this one is really, the guidebook is pretty fantastic. So that's one of my favorite things. But as you can see, like, it's Celtic Spirit, all green, green backs, green edging, and the color palette in the cards is also very green. So it has the title and the keywords. And my favorite thing about this deck were the write-ups in the guidebook. So you know, you can see why it's perfect for this prompt. This is actually a really good oracle. Like, if you like it, it's a really good oracle. This was in my rehome pile. But every time I do that, whenever I flip through it, I'm like, wait, do I actually want to rehome this? I don't know, maybe I just shouldn't rehome decks, right? No, that's not true. There are some that I do want to for sure rehome. Like the Darkness of Light Tarot, or like others. Maybe one day I'll do a video about it. But you know, this is color green. The next prompt is a pre-loved second-hand or pre-loved deck. And for that, I'm going to show the one that I used in my previous video, where I did a personal tarot reading for some advice before surgery. I keep it in this Uzi bag. I reuse a lot of these, I mean, not a lot. I don't have a lot of Uzi decks, but I reuse the Uzi bags. And this is the Eduardo Dotti by Laura Tuan. I think this is out of print. This one in particular is second hand. I bought it in a French seller on Etsy. And I used this one. If you saw my previous video where I did a reading to get some practical advice for a surgery that I need, I used this one and an oracle that I just received that is really beautiful. And yeah, so this one, there are several versions of the Dotti Tarot. Giordano Berti has one, Patrick Valenza has one. I have both of those. And this one, but I really love this one because of the big cards. I wanted to show this one because the reading I did was pretty special, so I'm kind of in love with the deck, with this particular version at the moment, with the big cards. I think I didn't show you the backs. These are the backs, just like regular historical backs, and it has a great sound. It's not, I really like the paper. I have seen people complain about the paper in this edition. I personally really like it. I cut the, or rather my mom helped me round the corners because they were not rounded. Yeah, so that's the Eduardo Dotti by Laura Tuan. The next prompt is a deck with your most used guidebook, and I have a confession to make. I don't read guidebooks a lot. I don't remember, as I said, I binged these VRs for this tag. I don't remember who it was, maybe Cozy Core, I don't remember, but in that video they were saying that they can't be pulled away from the romance novels to read a tarot guidebook. Like, if you're going to read, you rather read your romance novels or fantasy novels or whatever it is that you read instead of reading a tarot guidebook. And I kind of feel the same way. I feel like there's a point where every guidebook starts being the same. So I don't know. I have a lot of thoughts about guidebooks, but that's not the video for that. So I'm going to show you the only guidebook that I have read from cover to cover. I did specifically because it's an art deck and I wanted to read why the choice for the art chosen, but then also I restructured the deck, so I wanted to read it to see how I wanted to restructure it. And that's actually a deck that you already saw on my channel. That's the Da Vinci Enigma, and you have already seen it because I did some pairings for it. I'm going to link the video that I did, which was the pairings for the Da Vinci Enigma Tarot. You can see a post-it. There is even some like annotation, and yeah, this is the only guidebook I've read from beginning to end. I really like it because it tells you what the painting is and the choice of why, and then at the beginning it gives you a lot of cool like tables, associations and stuff. It's by Caitlin Matthews, who is a very well respected author. I have her Lenormand book. I want to read Untold Tarot, and then I don't know if it's her husband or partner or, but the other Matthews, what's his name? I'm going to put it on screen. I also am kind of obsessed with him, with both of them. I think they're very cool. So yeah, this is the only guidebook that I have read from beginning to end. Although lately I have been feeling like diving back into reading guidebooks, because some guidebooks are really great. But yeah, so that would be the answer for this particular prompt. The next prompt, and I'm almost done, I think I just have 2 more prompts to go. The next prompt is a deck with water on the box. This one I struggled with more than the cloud one. So I'm going to show you one that kind of reinterprets the prompt you will see. So it's the Dear Water Oracle. And the reason why it fits the prompt is because it has water on the box, but like the word water. So that's how I'm interpreting it. So it's a Dear Water Oracle by Haley Brown. Yeah, Haley Brown. I really like this creator. She has a disability, and so she creates a lot of art with that in mind, or with that theme. As you know, I also have health stuff and so I bought that. I bought it because I don't know, I just really admire her as a creator. There are some flip throughs of these on YouTube, but specifically I feel like there are many cards where I know exactly what she meant or why that card was created. There is one specifically that is called Alter Ego, and it so speaks to me in terms of my own health journey. But I'm not going to go into that. But that's the Tear Water Oracle, so it has the word water on the box. And these are the backs. Healing is work. I love it. Tear Water Oracle. Now, in case that doesn't count, I did also find this one, the Astro Elemental Oracle by Sarah Stasi. As you can see, it's about the elements, and you have the fire, you have the air with the clouds, and this one also has a cloud, and you have like little plants, so earth, and then here you can see there are like concentric circles that are blue, so I'm assuming that is meant to be water. And this one is all about the elements. This is a photographic oracle that I don't use a lot because I feel like I don't have a lot of pairings for it, but I have changed the way I read cards in general, right? Like since I started with cartomancy and all that, so I feel like I should revisit a lot of these oracles that I don't use. Now that I have like developed, as I said, my technique, my reading technique, I really like reading with oracle only, and I feel like I haven't done that in a good while, and I should. So this is the Astro Elemental Oracle by Sarah Stasi, which has been on my rehome pile as well. I'm telling you, maybe I just shouldn't rehome decks. Also, because I'm from Mexico, I always do like I don't know, I'm always strategizing my shippings. So I have family members that live in the US and stuff, or friends. So every time I know someone is traveling, I order decks and they bring them to me, or things like that. So I'm always planning my shippings. So sometimes I'm scared that if I rehome stuff, I don't know, like it's going to be super expensive to get them again. So I'm like, I don't want to rehome. Anyway, so that was the second to last prompt. And the final prompt is a deck with your most favorite card and why. And there are several ways where you could interpret this, because you can interpret it as, your favorite card in tarot. My favorite card in tarot is Temperance. I'm also partial to Prudence. I love the virtues in general. I think they are very beautiful. Temperance specifically has a special meaning for me. But then you could also think about the question in terms of your favorite cards, in terms of aesthetically, like visually. In that case, my favorite card would be the World card from the Visconti Moderne that I showed you in a previous prompt. But what I decided to show you was my current favorite Lovers card, which is, I do think, one of my favorite decks, my favorite cards in my collection. Not because the Lovers is my favorite card, but the design of that card is one of my favorite cards in all of the decks that I have. And also because I showed you this deck in my Pink Marseille video, but I didn't have time to show you the cards. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to show you. I feel like the camera is moving a lot today. Sorry about that. I hope it's not super bad. And these are the cards. They are very cool, very cool. And this is what I mean when I say, you know, that I do like contemporary decks. I just prefer them with historical imagery, so it's not contemporary imagery. So this, I love this moon card. I love this moon card, and the sun card in this deck is also beautiful. And the card that I wanted to show you was the Lovers. It's this one. So this is, I think, my current favorite Lovers card and one of my favorite cards that I have in any deck. I want to scan this and print it out to hang it in my room. That's how much I like it. So that would be my answer for this prompt, and these are the backs of this deck that is called Tarocchi della Fortuna by Del Vecchio. It's Italian, but it's mass market, so you can find this on Amazon. I actually bought this for like just a regular mass market price. It wasn't more expensive or anything. These are, so the pips are like Italian style pips. So you have the cups, and let me find the clubs. So these are the clubs. Yeah. So I also need a bag for this one, but it's relatively new in my collection, so I haven't gotten a bag. And because they are larger decks, I feel like it's harder to get bags for them because they are larger, but the format is, you know, this Italian format, which is long tall cards. This was the last prompt, so this would be it. Thank you so much for watching. Again, my name is Mariana. This is Happening by Chance. Please subscribe and comment. I am excited about this new TarotTube channel. I will see you soon with another video. I will continue binging the responses to this VR, and in the meantime, I wish you happy reading, whether that be cards, books, weather, charms, or any form of reading you prefer.